real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike.
Play on those first days. If you make day 2, you're automatically in the money. So once you make to day 2, you're automatically guaranteed some kind of payback. Now they are allowing a Mega Millions No Limit Hold'em day 2 buy-in. You can buy in directly to day 2 for $5,000.
Yeah, it's a really. I'd have to look at the math about it. I don't know what I think about it.
I don't know what I think about it either, but I tell you what, I'm more leaning towards I kind of like it. I have to look at all of
First
the stats
of all,
too.
How many people do you really think were up to buy in for $5,000 on day 2?
I think if you're a big-time tournament player, you probably should. I mean, you're playing a tournament.
You're getting. I mean, are you getting more than the average stack? By the way, the original raiser was Soss, got called in 2 spots. Flop is king high, no suits.
It says you're getting 200,000 chips or 40 big blinds, whichever is greater.
Do you think that is above the average stack?
I think maybe we should probably check. I think that probably is. Don't you think?
That I'm curious of that because I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like. So somebody else has to grind their way through that whole day 1.
A lot of people have to grind their way through day 1.
And the average stack is like, say, 28 big blinds. And then you can just buy into day 2 and get above average stack. Then again, you are paying $5,000 for it. Yeah. David, by the way, called Soss's bet. Soss had bet with the ace. By the way, there's no way I'm putting a continuation bet out here if I'm sorry, a double barrel if I'm Soss. Because I'm putting my opponent on some sort of a... when the 6 falls off, I'm just not going to bet it here. And it turns out, actually, David is going to lead out. So David check calls with the 5-6. Now he's going to lead out 90 when he pairs his 6s. And Soss looks like he's going to raise.
Raise, 325.
And David's got to hate it. David's got to hate it. I mean, he was clearly betting to either A, a little bit of fold equity, but also he can name his price, figuring, okay, well, if my opponent's got king, queen, or king, jack, he can't raise me. And the only thing he doesn't want to happen here, he doesn't mind if he wins the pot right there. He also doesn't mind if he gets called. The only thing he doesn't want to see, he doesn't want to get raised, and that's exactly what happened. So it's back over to David. It's 235 for Chan to call. He's getting a little bit more than 2-1, probably about 2.5 to 1. And he's got to think, are there implied odds? The problem is, at this point, he doesn't even know what kind of implied odds there'd be. But he's going to call. No, he's going to re-raise.
I was going to say,
Man,
what?
I love it.
David Chan doesn't back down for anybody.
I love it.
Especially lately, he's been on fire. So he's feeling good.
Raise to 825.
I like it. In all fairness, it's a raise that doesn't make... I mean, Soss's raise doesn't make a ton of sense. I mean, he's representing a very small...
All in?
Oh, and Soss
Wow!
moves all in!
What a hand!
Are you kidding me?
Soss, obviously, and David know each other quite well.
Okay, so just to recap the action. Soss was the original raiser. David called, another player called. Forget about that. On the flop, it went check call. Very standard. On the turn, David led out for $90. Soss raised it to $390. David re-raised it to about $850, and now Soss has moved all in. Now, the interesting thing is David is getting about 2-1. If he thinks he's up against ace-king, I mean, you try to figure out, now it's really a math question. If you go, well, I think my opponent's on ace-king.
Yeah, that one's short.
The problem is you got to start thinking, okay, is my opponent...
35.
What kind of hand could my opponent have? I mean, let's dismiss the fact that he has ace-3 here, right? Bizarre hand by that both players, really. Soss especially. And by the way, I don't think Chan's going to end up winning this hand. I think he's going to fold, but it's a great play by Chan. I love the raise by him.
I don't know about the fold part. Chan doesn't like to fold.
The problem is, even if you put your opponent on just ace-king, even if you just put your opponent on ace-king, just one pair. Okay, you need a 5, a 6, an 8, a 5, a 6, an 8, or a 3. You've got 8, 11. You've got 13 outs with one card to come. You've got about 27% equity. You need about 3 to 1. Like, it's not even if his opponent had ace-king, which is probably the worst hand he could have, or king-jack, whatever, makes no difference, ace-king, king-jack. If he has one pair, okay, and none of his pairs are one of your blockers, at the best, at the absolute best, you've got 13 outs. 13 outs gives you about 27% equity, which would mean you'd have to be getting laid about 3 to 1 to make this call profitable. I don't see how you can call this. Somebody tell me.
Chan, however, is still thinking.
Somebody tell me if I'm doing the math wrong. And sometimes it pains you because you're like, now if you think your opponent's ever on a stone cold bluff, if you think your opponent ever has ace-jack of hearts here, that's really the only hand you can imagine that, something along those lines. Or if you ever think your opponent's got 8-10 of hearts, some sort of combo draw that he picked up, but he's got to give it up, and I don't mind it at all. I was saying, unless
Soss is going to show, nope.
No, unless Soss occasionally shows up with ace-3 of hearts, 8-10 of hearts.
He showed a 3.
He showed a 3 of diamonds.
Did he show the ace?
No, he did, but he showed the 3 of diamonds. What else is he? Come on, he's not shoving with king-3. Now he could have 5-3.
That's what I'm saying. So you're trying to make it look like he actually had it, or he didn't?
Who knows? Let David think about it.